be killed in the new hires. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Now let's see. You guys have some shows coming up here shortly, right? Some new bookings, I guess.
Oh yeah. We are. So we have shows mostly at Rascals because I love that family up there. Work up there as a part-time job. So we're booked out there for the rest of the year. So our next one is March 16th. So just before St. Patrick's Day. Oh, and nice. Then it would be May, and then just so every 2 months, you can find us up there.
Okay,
and then we have a lot of guest spots all over the place throughout the summer and
now.
Spring.
You guys had a show not too long ago. I believe it was a bondage theme. Is that or S&M theme? Was that?
No, we didn't. And our last show was the vintage vodka, so it was very like 20s bump and grind, kind of very classic.
Like the Flapper Girl style?
Yep.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
Then,
very kind of, it was like a postmodern jukebox kind of feel. So some of it was kind of modern music, but more that classic jazz vibe. And we had a live singer, Yaz.
Okay.
So she sang, and then we danced beside her, which was kind of brought that back.
So there must have been a separate show that was up there that was...
Within that show, though, we had Abernathy's did a fashion show of their kink line. So that's okay. So it wasn't the full show, but we did have a fetish and kink fashion show that happened up there. Yep.
Okay, so that wasn't the entire show.
No.
There was a piece of it.
It was a piece of it. Yep.
Okay, that makes more sense. Now, with incorporating something like that with the burlesque. Is there ever any fear in the back of your mind of like somebody associating burlesque with like the fetish and the sex side of things, or?
I guess that I don't want to say it's a fear because there is kind of somewhat of a correlation. Yeah. There's a lot of crossover.
For sure.
Generally speaking, a burlesque show is a bit of it's an 18 and over show. People are taking their clothes off, and a lot of it is very sexually charged, or it can be. There are routines that are very more political or comedic or anything, but more often than not, because the point is to take your clothes off, there is a bit of a sexual innuendo behind it at times. But again, that is a personal thing, and most people do it to feel the empowerment of it. So I do feel like within the bondage fetish kind of community, a lot of that is feeling a bit of an empowerment behind it. Right. So they do kind of go somewhat hand in hand. Okay.
And so you've never had the fear that somebody might take that a step further, like say the guy that sent the inappropriate pictures or anything like that? Do you feel like that attracts those more so than say just a standard?
I guess probably. I'm not going to say no, but I also don't think I'm not going to live in that fear of it because realistically, no matter what you do, it's going to attract some kind of. There's a fetish for everybody. So I think when you kind of, for better words, find your tribe of people, you feel very protected in that bubble. So you can be yourself, and you can, kind of let your freak flag fly and feel that it's a safe environment to do so.
Yeah. Now, like we were talking about earlier, in the current climate and the way things are going currently, if a young girl, 18, were looking into getting into burlesque, would this be something that you'd tell her to hold off on, or would you welcome it?
Oh, I'd absolutely welcome it. Because I think burlesque it's an empowerment thing. I found my voice in burlesque. I found this tribe and this community that stands really strong behind one another and protects one another. And because we are putting ourselves out in a vulnerable situation, we are kind of putting our heart and our soul out to you, not just, the nudity aspect of it, but kind of bearing ourselves to you, and as an audience member, we're trusting you to kind of keep us in that safe zone.
So in taking, you'd say that in stripping off layers of clothing, you're literally and figuratively kind of exposing yourself to the elements. Okay.
And that sort of like cathartic release, you instantaneously gain a room that is now your family.
Right.
And especially within a troupe, I have never been closer to anybody in my entire life than the tribe of burlesque performers.
Yeah.
Whether it be when I started with Bottoms Up or now within the Misfits.
So like it's carried over.
Oh man, it's you create this community, and even like performers in other areas, you instantly have this bond because it's a relatable characteristic of exposing yourself to strangers.
Okay. All right. And from my time of doing stand-up, I can...
Oh, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
That's super scary.
Really? Never thought, like, getting up and telling jokes would be in your wheelhouse?
I went to a couple stand-up practices because I had some people reach out.
Yeah.
They said, because of me being in burlesque and me being able to do that
Absolutely.
They figured because there's a lot of crossover in that world, too.
Yeah.
Especially locally. And no, it was terrifying. I have an easier time taking my clothes off on stage than telling jokes on stage.
Tell you what, I am much more comfortable telling people what's wrong with me and my family than getting any kind of naked. If I took off a sock, I'd be like, oh, this is too much. No, and I'd run off stage. That in that respect, seeing somebody like Sin Big, like I was friends with him before he started doing burlesque, but even before he started doing burlesque with you guys. He was always very, very sure of himself and just like, if somebody doesn't like it, then fuck them.
Yep.
You know? So seeing him get into burlesque.
I love my captain.
So seeing him get into burlesque is like, not so surprising. But seeing what he does up there, it's almost like I kind of want to do it. Or you get the feeling like, not that, oh, he's doing it, he makes it look easy, I could definitely beat him. More in the sense of like,
what sort of drug is that? And I want some.
Exactly. Which was kind of the same thing that got me into stand-up, was seeing other people. I was always afraid of getting on a stage, but seeing other people do it and making it look so easy, it's like they look like they're enjoying themselves thoroughly. I want a piece of whatever it is they're smoking, you know. And but then again, that's the kind of thing that gets me into trouble, is that I see somebody else having such a great time with what they're doing, whether it's stand-up or burlesque, and then there's part of me that goes, yeah, I want to see what that feels like. So, yeah, I completely get why you guys do what you do, but I respectfully stay in the shadows and know that I couldn't possibly attempt it.
Aw, everybody can.
You think so? You think everybody has I guess that thing in their DNA that makes them want to get out there and for everybody to see them? Or what do you think drives it?
If you want it, every person is capable.
Really? Have you? Do you guys get a lot of the people that think they could do it or attempt to do it and end up making an ass of themselves, or do you feel like there's more of a?
Don't get me wrong. I don't think everybody has good routines all the time.
Okay.
And not everybody may look as good as they think they do in their head, myself included. I went back and seen videos and went, "Ooh, that was a bad idea."
Yeah.
But I do think that if you have that performer drive in you, whatever it is, then internally you will keep pushing yourself to find that one epic routine or one amazing joke or whatever it is, that monologue that in the play that's just amazing. So everybody's got it.
Do you think that's something that's coachable, or do you think that's you're ultimately born with it and
Both.
then it just takes somebody else to mold it?
Both.
Yeah. Okay.
It might take someone else to help you find your niche.
Yeah.
Your for burlesque, for instance, your certain stage character that is you're gonna be able to feel more comfortable doing this than trying to be, I started off doing more comedic routines or more super metal routines because that's what I enjoyed doing. That's what music I liked. That's what I thought I would be good at.
Right.
That pushed me into feeling more comfortable in doing things that like trying to be pretty. I'm not a ballerina. I've never taken dance lessons really in my life besides the last month.
So you're trying ballet?
We have been doing, we took some like salsa and tango and some classic dance from a gentleman called Gunter from QC Soul Dance.
Okay.
And then we took some belly dancing recently.
Really?
So
what did you think of that?
That was super fun, but really hard. Holy shit. Those girls have no bones in their body.
Okay. So I from an outside perspective, I see that and I see like all hips and abdomen. After you did that for a day, was that did it just kill?
Like every muscle. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, very much so in the abs and like the hip region and the thigh region. A lot of it is kind of core.
Yeah.
But you use every muscle in your body.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of dances that way too, though.
For sure.
It's extension from fingers to toes.
Right. Now, would you say that there were any, because you said before that you didn't do ballet or salsa or anything like that, were any of those different styles something that you think you could keep up with or keep doing? Or was that just like a test, like a sample and like, no, thank you?
It's definitely not a no thank you.
Yeah.
I will definitely keep going into trying to practice as much as I can because even like the littlest things from certain dances will help me in the long run as a performer. It's just a stage presence. And I hope that even me continuing to take classes encourages some of my other performers to reach out and take different ones too. So we had a lot of crash coursing lately, which has been really fun. But the salsa was beautiful, and the tango is a stunning dance. One of my good friends, Paige Harlow, showed us, and her dance partner Gunter was our instructors for that, and they showed us the Argentinian tango. Yeah, and it was like gorgeous.
How different from just a regular tango is the Argentinian?
I would not be the person to ask that.
Not sure. Okay.
But just in general, the like the angular lines and the swift feet and the just the gracefulness of it all is something that it has definitely flowed over into how we're choreographing now some of our
very nice
burlesque routines
now,
for upcoming shows.
Do you have any ideas for themes for the next few shows, or is it?
Our entire themes are booked out for the year.
Yeah. Can you talk anybody? Or
I'm super excited about our next one. I love it.
Okay.
March 16th, we're doing 90s nostalgia. So we are shoving 90s down people's throats,
like Spice Girls.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yep. We have some. I don't want to give too much away, but we have some good classic R&B going. We have some. Your boy bands, your classic pop princesses, a lot of pop culture references.
Yeah.
Ideally, we're gonna encourage people to kind of dress in their best '90s gear.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some really great prizes.
Yeah.
'90s themed prizes.
Now, I've seen a couple of the '80s themed parties. Mm-hmm. I don't know why everybody thinks that the 80s was just everybody walking around in neon.
Because there wasn't at all.
Right. Everybody looks past the mullet and the Zubas.
It's our show in July.
Oh, really?
Our 80s improv show.
So you're going to do 90s the next show.
Yep.
And then after
we
that,
have
down the road?
Bands and Babes then in May. So we have a local band participating with us. And then we also have a pinup contest participating with us that night. Yep.
Very nice.
Yep. And then on to the 80s improv show.
Okay. Very July. Cool. I could get behind the 90s one.
Please do. Come to the show. It'd be great.
I think I have a couple things either in my closet or like my cousin's, my uncle's closet that I can.
Everybody has some 90s gear.
Get me some of the members only jackets.
See, I want to do who's got the biggest Jinko.
Oh,
you need to measure out the Jinko feet.
Oh, who has the biggest Jinko print?
Right.
Oh my God. That's man. Why? You had to bring up the one thing I regret from my childhood.
Jinkos?
No. Oh, man.
They were so good.